So today we're going to just be talking about finding the asymptotes of a rational function. There's always going to be, in this case, it's going to be fraction, and you're going to have a constant over a linear function, which means the degree of the numerator will be 0, and the degree of the denominator will be equal to 1. So there's a couple of things that you need to know about finding the asymptotes. The first one is to find the vertical asymptotes. You set the denominator equal to 0. And solve for x. So we're going to add 6. We get 4x equals 6. So x equals 6 divided by 4 reduced to 3/2. So at x equals 3/2, this is our vertical asymptote. So what that means is x cannot be equal to 3/2, otherwise the denominator will be equal to 0. So we'll go ahead and grab our line and we'll go over to 3/2, which is right here. And there's our vertical asymptote. Now to find the horizontal asymptotes, there's a couple of things that you need to know. So we're going to be looking at the degree of the numerator and the denominator. So if the degree of the numerator is called n, and the degree of the numerator is called m. If, and this is for any rational function, by the way, rational just means it's a fraction. So if n is less than m, then y equals 0 is the horizontal asymptote. If n is equal to m, then y equals, now it's going to be a fraction where you put the leading coefficient of the numerator and the denominator. And the leading coefficient is just the coefficient of the x term that determines the degree of the function. And the last one is if n is greater than m, then there is no horizontal asymptote. Okay, so for this particular lesson, n will always be less than m, because they're giving a constant, which has degree of 0, and a linear function on the denominator, which has degree of 1. So our degree n is 0, and our degree m is 1. So y equals 0 will be our horizontal asymptote. Oopsies, I want to pick the horizontal every time. Okay, so let's just do one more. So just remember that you want to find out where the denominator is equal to 0. And this is x equals -9/2. And this is y. So I have plus 9, I subtract 9, and then I divide by 2. So if I hit my, oh yeah, gotta get my mouse. Vertical, I'm going to go over to -9/2, which is 4.5. And then my horizontal will be y equals 0. And that's the end of the lesson.